We have actually two apiaries. One's a teaching apiary, which is mainly used for our beekeeping class that we teach here. And then we have this research apiary here, and this is basically only for a particular project that one of my graduate students is running.
I have 25 hives, and we're collaborating with Dr. Ostagai, who's at Penn State, and she has 20 hives. So together, the project has, as of now, 45 hives. The project, we're researching a management practice for local beekeepers to better control Varroa mites within their hives. The Varroa mite is a pest for honeybees. It came over in the latter part of the 1980s and came over from Asia with the Asian honeybee. It's one of the primary forces behind the decline of honeybees.
The Varroa mite is an ectoparasitic mite, and so it actually feeds on the hemolymph of the honeybee. Most aggressive part of their time in terms of its relationship with the honeybee is during the larval stage or in pupal stage, when it's actually capped under wax, and so you can't really see it, but it feeds, it actually pierces through their exoskeleton and feeds on their hemolymph. And so you can imagine if you had something feeding on you the size of a hamburger or a plate, sucking on your blood, it doesn't make them feel too good. And it's not just the Varroa mite itself. I mean, that's bad enough, but it's also all the viruses that they can actually transmit as well. So when they actually pierce into the bee, they actually can inoculate and vector viruses to those bees. And then the viruses are a whole another issue that you have to deal with and contend with affecting population in the colony and productivity. Bees actually naturally swarm, so they divide or split themselves in half. And that's how they kind of reproduce and go across the landscape. And so when they do that, half the queen, the old queen, and half the colony leaves. And so it's this idea of purging, and actually are they taking a significant amount of mites away from that colony that they leave behind. And so there's a lag time with that colony they left behind because there isn't a mated queen in that hive, so they leave a virgin, and so that virgin has to get mated, and that mite actually depends upon brood.
And so you have a little break in the brood, in the laying of eggs, and so without the brood, the Varroa mites can't reproduce.
With pesticides, with any type of chemical or chemistry that you're applying to an insect or an arthropod on an arthropod, there's going to be some type of sublethal dose or sublethal effect. And so this reduces the chance of that. The bees come into contact with different chemistries out in the field on flowers and things that they're foraging off of anyway. So if we can reduce in any possible way any type of pesticide that gets into the hive matrices or that the bees come in contact with, then I think that's a very good thing.